In this video, I want to discuss how light influences our mood and offer 3 unconventional ways to enhance natural light at home. By the way, if you're new here, I'm Anna. I'm a licensed architect based in Europe, and in this channel, I distill decades of architectural education and experience into small bite-sized lessons to teach you how to design your home. Also, if you want to deepen your understanding of the concepts I share today, do check the description for the free worksheet called Is Your Home Boosting or Busting Your Mood? It's a fun little quiz that will help you apply today's concepts in your home and brighten your space. How light influences our mood. When we feel down, we often think it's because of us. I'm not feeling good today because I'm upset about something. I didn't eat the right things or I slept wrong. We blame our mood on ourselves, our actions, and our interactions. It's my anxiety or my depression. We rarely look outside ourselves for answers on how we feel. What if the root cause of your blues is something as simple as the amount of light that you're getting? Light, especially natural light, plays a crucial role in how we feel because light directly affects one of our hormones, serotonin, which stabilizes our mood, feelings of well-being, and happiness. For example, seasonal affective disorder, or short SAD, is a prime example on how critical light is to our mental health. SAD is a type of depression that comes and goes in seasonal patterns, typically more severe during the winter months when there is less natural light. One of the therapies for SAD is actually light therapy, which is the exposure to light that mimics natural light. So I hope you see how important light is for our bodies. Poorly lit spaces are equally bad for our well-being. Studies suggest that inadequate natural light can lead to increased stress, depression, and even decreased cognitive function. Without getting too deep into the rabbit hole of research papers, a disruption in the amount of light we're getting means a disruption in our circadian rhythm, which is a disruption in our sleep. This leads to a host of other challenges and inconveniences like stress, overeating, or aggravating existing mental health challenges, and so many more things. All these problems can be prevented easily by environments that offer ample natural light. So how do we maximize our natural light at home? Let's look at a few tactics. Painted floors. The first tip I have for you is to paint your floors white. It's not really my tip, it's a common strategy in Nordic countries. Now, don't get me wrong, floorboards in a natural dark color are incredibly beautiful, and they bring a lot of weight to the design of the room. But if the room is too dark overall, you might consider painting the floor white or a very light color. Why is that? Because dark colors absorb light. When light hits an object, the energy from the light can be absorbed, transmitted, or reflected. In the case of dark color objects, they absorbed most of the light that falls on them, converting it into heat, whereas light-colored objects such as white reflect most of the light. This is why wearing dark clothing in the sun can make you feel hotter than wearing light-colored clothing. When the light goes through the window, the first thing that it hits is the floor, and then what is not absorbed by the floor is spread around the rest of the room. If your floor is dark, a lot less light will be spread around the room than if your floor is white. If you feel your room is too dark, a light-colored floor will drastically improve its overall perceived luminosity, making it feel larger and more inviting. On that note, avoid any other large, dark surface in the room. These could be pieces of furniture in dark colors, accent walls, or dark textiles like curtains or bed covers. Paint or remove any dominant dark surface in the room. And speaking of removing items from the room, let's get into our next tactic, minimalism. For all its faults, minimalism does have one advantage. It is the best style at maximizing natural light. No other style can compete with it, because to have a style or a design language, you need items in the room that define it, and minimalism has nearly none. Since every piece of furniture in the room casts a shadow, the more items in the room, the more shadows and the less light is spread around the room. By reducing the number of furniture elements and decor, you reduce these shadows, allowing natural light to flow more freely through the space. The other feature of minimalism is that the few items that do find themselves in the room are sleek, composed of thin frames and minimal structures holding them together, further allowing for the light to go through and around the room. They are made of glass or metal, which in themselves are materials that either reflect the light or cast a very light shadow in the room, which helps the light to travel further and spread more easily in the room. So if you have a dark room, minimalism is the style that will best support you in maximizing natural light. Finally, I'd like to talk about furniture and how its design and location in the room can impact the amount of light that is spread. We already said you should avoid dark furniture, and opting for slender, minimalistic options will spread the maximum amount of light in the room. The final tip about furniture is to opt for compact pieces rather than smaller, different-sized pieces spread around the room. This is not just because it makes the space look simpler, but also because you will reduce all the little corners and niches that result from having all these pieces of furniture together. All these niches and corners cast a lot of shadows. One compact piece of furniture may cast a shadow, but it also creates a bigger surface that reflects the light back into the room. The more niches, crevices, corners, and protrusions you have in the room, the more light gets lost. The other design tip is to keep the furniture as low to the ground as possible. For example, a sleek low-profile sofa or a bench don't just save space, they let more light shine into the room and onto the walls, effectively brightening your space. This is especially useful in small rooms that are naturally darker. Now, if you found these tips helpful, I've created a fun little quiz called Is Your Home Boosting or Busting Your Mood? It's linked in the video description. It will help you reflect a little longer about today's tips and offer some support on how to apply them in your home effectively. There are also other useful resources in the description, so make sure to check it out. I'd love to hear how you go about bringing more light into your spaces. Do you have any tricks up your sleeve? Share them in the comments below. I'm always excited to learn from you as well. Also, if you enjoyed this exploration of natural light, I think you will like my video 5-star hotel room design breakdown. There I dissect how top designers optimize lighting to create that luxurious atmosphere of 5-star hotel rooms.